Hello, welcome to the 11th episode of Rainbow Reflections Origins. This series will take a closer look at Rainbow Reflections, from its origins to fun facts and trivia. In this episode, we'll be looking at the origins of Mimiteh, who was once known as the Mushroom Queen. Mimiteh has changed a few times since creation, in personality, role, and design. I couldn't settle on what I wanted to do with her for quite some time. She started off as an old woman who happened to follow the group around, seemingly by accident. She would mutter crazily to herself, but occasionally mention important things that the main cast would overhear. She was supposed to be that wise old figure, basically. Then she changed into being known as the Mushroom Queen, a spirit who literally tried to become a queen in the country of Denoma, hence her last name, but she didn't manage that and became a traveling blacksmith who happened to come across Aster later on. She was then a blacksmith for Hyaktu school, getting Aster into the school by being friends with him. Eventually I decided to scrap her, not liking her character whatsoever. But then I kinda brought her back. I saw that I could still use her, and use her I will. Spoiler alert! Go to this time if you want to avoid spoilers. She's merely mentioned in the first book as a blacksmith who mentored Sorala and was a mother figure to her, but then cast her on the side of the road one day. It's thought of that she's working with Kaokat. She would definitely be making a real appearance in the future books to torment Sorala some more. Spoilers over. I wasn't ever really happy with her design. She went from a little old lady with a witchy looking hat to a muscular queen complete with a crown and mushroom style clothing. I eventually stole the design that was meant for a different scrapped character named Cherry, just changing the colors a bit. My friend Chaotic Rebel Dragon actually designed Cherry for me since I was struggling with the design and didn't know what I wanted. She wears the same golden rings on her wrist that C3 has on his elbow, which she crafted herself. She wears tall boots, a red dress that's dark on the bottom and lighter on top, and a necklace with a small flame emblem. The necklace is really tight to her skin as it covers a neck wound she obtained. That same neck wound that Hyaktu was originally going to have, which would have made him mute. Mimiteh's first name means new moon, and her last name means sun. This moon-sun contrast was more symbolic when I first created her character, but this symbolism will probably still be important to the story in some way, especially as the new moon is in more contrast to the sun than any other type of moon. She has a wand made out of cherry wood just because I gave her Cherry's wand instead, since I semi-merged these characters. There are 3 gold rings around this wand, marking it as hers. Cherry represents power, strength, and sweetness. The power and strength are definitely notable in Mimiteh's character, though the sweetness not so much. Cherry was originally going to be Sorala's toxic girlfriend, where the sweetness was going to come into play, but that's definitely not happening now. At least not with Cherry or Mimiteh. Mimiteh doesn't use her wand often, instead preferring to use her broadsword or spear combined with martial arts to power her magic. Mimiteh was born in January with a Capricorn sun sign and an Aries moon sign. She has fire magic, but like Sorala, I was back and forth between giving her fire or earth magic. I chose fire magic since I realized that not many characters have fire magic. Originally, Cherry would have had fire magic too, as I always imagined Cherry using dance moves to create fire. Literally dancing with fire. I don't think Mimiteh will be dancing anytime soon, but it's a fun concept that I hope to use one day. Mimiteh's only hobbies seem to be blacksmithing and some martial arts. She's nowhere near Hyaktu's level of martial arts mastery, and only knows a bit of fighting with most weapons. The only weapons she knows pretty well are the broadsword and spear, since she's worked with those the most. Even so, she uses them more for magic than for their actual use, and rarely comes into hand-to-hand combat. Mimiteh is aromantic and bisexual. She likes to get into physical relationships with people for a day or two on her travels, but she is not at all interested in having a romantic relationship or anything long-term. I'm glad I worked with Mimiteh and kept her around despite the difficulties she initially gave me. I've ended up with a bit more of a fun character, and I look forward to bringing her more into the action.